welcome to Friday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, and an absolutely exquisite looking puzzle by Florian Wortmann again. Now Florian, we featured, it was only a few days ago, with a puzzle that has been going gangbusters. It was this one. This was the thumbnail. It was sort of a cross between yin-yang, minesweeper and Sudoku. It's proving very, very popular. That puzzle was not as easy as this one is supposed to be. Florian has hit the jackpot with this one apparently, because I think this is the hardest type of puzzle to get on Cracking the Cryptic, in the sense that it's only 1 star out of 5 for difficulty, and we love puzzles like this, but they don't come along very often. So if there are constructors out there, I'm thinking people like Clover and sometimes Kane Puzzles, people like that have mastered the art of fairly straightforward puzzles, but where the beauty content is right up there, where they're still really interesting to solve. Blashirk, I want to say, is also, I think, one of those people who is sort of mastering that art. But that is actually, if you are a constructor, that is the way that gives you the best chance of getting your puzzle solved on the channel at the moment, because my inbox is full of about, maybe 60, maybe more, 60 5-star out of 5 difficulty 100% rated puzzles, where I know that if I can solve it, the video is going to be, a couple of hours long. And while I love solving those puzzles, and I'm happy to do those occasionally, we doubt whether the audience wants a 2-hour Cracking the Cryptic video every evening. So when we see these, or when we get recommended these 1-star puzzles where the testers look at them and say, wow, this is really good, that is something that we really look out for. So I'm looking forward to trying this. An incredibly symmetrical grid, like incredibly symmetrical. And we'll have a look at this in a moment. And don't forget, by the way, if you do enjoy thermometer Sudoku, and that is what this is, we have a whole app full of 100 handcrafted such creatures, and that we'd certainly recommend to you. I'll try and remember to put a link on the screen. I don't talk about the apps very often. I probably should do that more often, but I don't. Now, what else do I need to tell you about today? Let's talk about Patreon, where we have picked the winner of last month's monthly reward, which was the Planet Suite. So those the solution videos are now available. There's going to be a roll of honor at the end of this video, so if you did manage to solve it, look out for your name in the roll of honor, and congratulations for managing to get through it. There were certainly a couple of puzzles in that hunt that were challenging. Saturnalia and I think, by Jove, the Jupiter one, that proved tricky, but if you did solve it, your name should appear in the roll of honor. And the winner, and who will be contacting about the prize, is Nathan Jones. You've been gone too... No, I can't make a banana rubber joke, can I? Nathan Jones, you have won, so we will be in contact. Many congratulations. Very, very well solved indeed. And of course, we've got this month's monthly reward. Loads of you having a go at that at the moment. Cracking the Cryptic, with several tentacularly themed Sudokus for you around Krakens. Now, what else can I tell you about? Let me think. Oh, we've got a crossword video. I solved the Today's Times crossword. Some of you enjoy the cryptic crossword content. That went out at about 11 o'clock this morning. I certainly recommend that. And then I've got some birthdays and, well, other announcements to make. Let's start with, I think it's Goujon, from your wife-to-be, Roslyn. Happy birthday, my friend. I hope you get chocolate cake. Now, this is an amazing one. Kat and Ben are getting married today in Indianapolis. So our hearty congratulations go out to the two of you. Ben actually wrote to us and wrote a lovely email. But I hope, obviously, today is an absolutely great day. I hope you get great weather. And, I hope that wedding cake doesn't tend to be chocolate cake, but maybe yours will be if you're lucky. Next, Laith, it's your birthday today, and I know this because your wife Hadaya wrote to us. What a lovely name, Hadaya. But Laith is making its own chocolate cake. Apparently a bit of a whiz in the kitchen. Well, I hope you enjoy your own chocolate cake and have a great birthday, Laith. And then finally, William William, it's your birthday today, and I know this because your sister Beth wrote to us, and William got Beth into cracking the cryptic, and now she's hooked. So William, we thank you for that, and we hope you have a great birthday, obviously, today. Now we get to solving, and the rules are not going to take me long to read today. So this is Staples by Florian Wortmann, and the rules are as follows. Normal Sudoku rules apply, so we have to put the digits 1 to 9 in each row, in each column, and in each 3x3 box. And digits along a thermometer increase from the bulb end. So let's look at this thermometer. If this was a 1, this has to be bigger than 1. It doesn't have to be 2. You can miss out digits along thermometers. You just have to make sure that the digits sort of increase as you move away from the bulb. Just as mercury would rise in a real thermometer as the temperature increased, so must digits rise on our Sudoku thermometers. And that is all the rules. Do have a go at the puzzle. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. But now I get to play. Let's get cracking. Almost looks like the thermometers are trying to spell out CO, and then I don't know what that would be. Now, I mean, the temptation here, frankly, is to do a good lift on this one. I'm just pausing there because I often look. I'm not like Mark. Mark would instantly pencil mark all these thermometers, but sometimes I can see the patterns better if I don't pencil mark them. I almost find that the information that the pencil marks give clutters my brain a bit. So I tend to think about things like 1s and 9s and where they go. Because that's because 1s and 9s are the most restricted digit. You can only ever put a 1 in the bulb of a thermo. So you can see, for example, in columns 1 and 9, the 1s are a bit restricted. There's almost a restriction going on in column 6 as well. I mean, row 7, the 1's only got 2 positions. I can't quite align them though. The geometry isn't quite working. 9's, well, it's so symmetrical. I guess 9's are the other way, are they? Well, 9's are going to be these positions. Yeah, 9's there in column 4 is the restrictor, and then 9's are in one of those 2 positions in row 3, which is sort of the opposite of where the 1's are. All right, okay, I'm going to have to pencil mark this, aren't I? So how long is this thermo? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a 7-cell thermo. So there are 2 degrees of freedom, by which I mean this square can't be higher than a 3. And we can test that out. If we tried to make this 4, we go 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, broken. And that's bad. We couldn't put a 10 on the thermometer. So that tells us that each of these digits has only got... Oh, okay, I see what this is going to do, actually. So we can sort of do this little trickery. Oh, missed out a digit. Lost my army. Whoopsie. 3, 4, 5. 4, 5, 6. 5, 6, 7. 6, 7, 8. 7, 8, 9. Right, so what I was noticing... And it's going to be the same in this row, look. So the thing I noticed was that I was going to get a 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple in row 3. But the corollary of that is I'm going to get a 6, 7, 8, 9 quadruple in row 7. Now what we could do here is just pencil mark these in. I mean, maybe we should. So this digit can't be lower than a 4, so it's got to be at least a 5. 6, 7, 8. Okay, so this has got to go 6, 7. Who's this? Sorry, I'm getting a phone call. I'm going to... I never know about phone calls. I don't recognise that number. I think I'm going to ignore it. Well, it's going to buzz at me. I don't know anything about phones either. I don't know how you reject a call even. Okay, well this thermo is quite restricted, so can we do the same thing down here then? Yeah, the other end of the thermo, so the restrictions are really symmetrical but opposite. So this digit cannot be higher than a 6, can it? So the maximum that could be is 5, so we have to work down the thermo here. So the absolute maximum this digit can be is now 2. So this, we get a great deal of restriction on both of these little staple. Oh, I see. Oh, I'm so dumb. This is why it's called staples. It's because all of the thermometers look like staples. I see. Okay. Okay, come on, Simon, use your brain. What's going on here? We've got... I haven't spotted anything yet. 2, 3, 4. No, I still haven't spotted anything yet. One of these has to be a 9, doesn't it? Oh, well, that is true. Again, I think my brain is doing things backwards today. The reason that is true, just focusing on row 7, is clear. This is a 6, 7, 8, 9 quadruple, so the 9 in that quadruple is in one of those two squares. But that's not actually how I noticed it. What I noticed was that one of these squares had to be a 4 in row 3, and whichever one of these is a 4 is going to take all the degrees of freedom off its thermo. So if this was 4, then this thermo would have to go 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which is causing one of these to be 9. Yes. Okay. So we can reverse that logic, can't we? Because if one of these is 4, causing one of these to be 9, but we also know that in this row, one of these is 6, which causes one of these to be 1. So the thermo that's got 6 on it, its thermo is going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the thermo that's got 4 on it is going to go 5. So we can take the middle digit out, can't we? That's what I want to do. That's what I feel like I can do here. Because if this is 6, we have to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So that could be that thermo, but the implication of that being a 6 is that this must be a 4, and this thermo would go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So yeah, I can certainly take the middle digit out. I can certainly take it out of these middle squares. I'm just a bit... Is it true to say I can also take it out of this square? If that's 6, 5, 4, 3, that has to be 2. So this is... Yes, I can. This is 2 or 4. This is 2 or 4. And this is 6 or 8. And this is 6 or 8. Now, can I do the same thing in the bulbs? I was a bit nervous about that because I was thinking if that was 4, this could be 1, 2 or 3. No, I can't, can I? Okay, yes. And if this is 6, that could be 7, 8 or 9. So very oddly, it's a really weird restriction. This column gets restricted only, but the sort of outliers of the thermometer don't get restricted. So, no, I thought I'd spotted something, but I haven't. What's this done for me? Ah! Wow, okay. That's amazing. I have actually seen what I have to do next. That's not perhaps the most amazing thing, but the amazing thing is how this works. It's absolutely beautiful. I haven't seen fully the effect of what I've noticed, but what I was thinking about was the bulb there. Now, what is that digit? Now we can see it's got a maximum size of 5, but it can't be 5 from the row. There's a 3, 5 pair, which means it's now got a maximum size of 4, and indeed it can't be 3. So this is 1, 2, or 4, which gives us a lot of low digits in this column. And I think the point of this is actually to look at this square and ask what is the minimum size of this digit now? And it's 5, isn't it? Because if we were to make this 4, 3, 2, or 1, the implication, it could never be 1, but the implication is this would be another low digit, and we'd have 5 cells in the column selected from 4 low digits. So this cannot be a 1, 2, 3 or 4 and has to be at least 5. And then that's got to be at least 6, that's got to be at least 7, that's got to be at least 8. So there's very few, there's only one element of latitude along this thermo. So now I've got a 7, 8, 9 triple in column 2. Oh no, it's all kicking off now. I've spotted 2 more things. This is beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. And I'm tempted actually, because shouldn't the logic just be reversible? I've spotted some things up here and in this box, but I'm just tempted to see whether or not I can have the same thoughts about this digit and therefore this cell, because that would be really rather lovely. Let's just think about this. So it works the other way round. We've got to think about high digits. This digit here is at least a 5 from the thermo, but can't be 5 from the row. So this is at least a 6. And it can't be a 7 because of the 5, 7 pair. So it does work the same way, because now we can say, well, how high could this digit be? Could this digit be a 6? Clearly not, because then this is going to be a 6 or higher, and we're going to have 5 digits in the column that are from 6 or higher. So this digit is a maximum of 5, which means this thermo we can work our way down, which means there's hardly any degrees of freedom along this one, which means that I get a 1, 2, 3 triple here, just as I got a 7, 8, 9 triple there. Yeah, okay, and I've spotted 2 things related to the thermos in the top left and the thermos in the bottom right. So let me tell you what they are. The first is, I think we can now place 9 in this row, and that's because of this 7, 8, 9 triple. So we can actually see that 8 and 9 in this box have to live on the right hand side of it. Now I don't really care about the 8 yet, but that's knocking 9 out of this square, and right at the very start we noticed that 9 in row 3 lived in one of those 2 positions, didn't it? So now I think this is a 9. Now the corollary of this, I think, is that this square down, where's it going to be? This square down here is going to be a 1, I think. In fact, I wonder with this puzzle whether we're going to find that all of the opposite pairs end up adding up to 10. That would not surprise me, because the symmetry is so profound. Yeah, well, let's in fact, let's do it symmetrically. Let's do that. So again, 1 and 2 have to be here, which means 1 can't be here in row 7, so 1 is there, which means 1 is in one of these squares in box 4, which means 1 is not here. And we can do the same there with 9, can't we? 9 must be in one of these squares, so 9 is not here. But the other thing I noticed up at the top here is that we've got a 5, 6 pair looking at this digit, which must now be a 7. And you can see the corollary here is a 4, 5 pair in box 8 looking at this square. So we can fill in this square with 7. Now that means that we get an 8 and a 9, which means this square is a 6. Just by the power of little old Sudoku working its magic on the puzzle. Is that going to do it? Don't know. Let's do down here as well. That's got to go 3, 2, 1. So this square becomes a 4. We get 3 and 7 in the middle box. Look, have to live in those squares, just by our old friend, our fair-weathered friend, Sudoku. So these are 2, 5, 8 to complete box 5. That's not 5. That's not 5. Okay, so the 3, 5 and the 5, 7 work, and we do get a 5 in the middle, which is normally, yes, look, I think we are going to get this situation where everything rotated 180 degrees. So if we spin the puzzle around this point, this cell would end up here, wouldn't it? And you could see that, look, 4 and 6 add up to 10, 9 and 1 add up to 10, 2 and 8 add up to 10, 3 and 7 add up to 10. So I'm expecting these to both be 5s, but we need to prove that logically rather than relying on the inherent symmetry to do that. Look, I've got a 2, 4 pair here. Oh, this is good. I should have seen this before. So that's got to be 3. That's got to be 1. That's got to be 2, 3, 4, 5. Therefore, this is 4. Oh, no, that didn't work. Oh, that almost makes me think I've got the puzzle wrong. I suppose unless this is 6. Yeah, that could be double 5. That could be 4. That could be 6. Okay, so maybe the symmetry is still all right. I hope so. Or I've made a ricket. And we don't want any rickets happening in the puzzle, do we? Okay, so where should we look now? Sorry, the phone started buzzing again, and I can't resist it. When it's a number I don't recognise, I sort of need to know who it is, just to check it's nothing important. It was nothing important. So anyway, but I think we're doing okay, aren't we? We can fill in 5 here. I can see that's possible. One of these needs to be a 5, doesn't it? If this was, how did the ends work? If that's 4, which one of these is 4, then that's 5. And then on the other side, whichever one is 6 has 5 beneath it. Yes. So one way of looking at this domino, in fact we better do this on both sides, is there's a 5 in one of those squares. So there's a 5 for sure at the top of column 8, which is the world's worst deduction. Okay, that was not what we were meant to do next. Let's, instead of that, okay, let's use the fact we've got 3 here to go up from along our thermo. So that's got to be 4. Once this is 4, we've got to go all the way up. And this is going to basically be a little cycle, isn't it? As now that becomes 2, but this becomes 7, and that becomes 6. So we sort of, whoopsie, no, that's right. So it is just stepping down. Yeah, so this arrangement around the edge becomes a cycle. This square's got to be a 5 or a 6 to complete row, to complete this row. But I imagine that we ought to be able to, because we've completed this row, there should be every reason we should be able to complete this row as well. Now, how do we do that? That's the next question. How did we do it down here? I can't remember. Never get interrupted during a puzzle. It won't help you. It really won't. Oh, well, all right, I'm going to change tack. 1 and 9 in this column have to be at the top. Oh, is this how we did it? We've got a 9 here, I see. So this is 8, this is 7, this is 6, this is 5, this is 6, this is 5. Ah, right, so it was simply using this digit here. So we must have had that digit or something being used down here on this thermo. Now, this square's got to be a 2 by our old friend Sudoku. So there's a 2 up here. No, there isn't. There's a 2-8 pair in the middle. So this is a 2. We could... Can we... Oh, yeah, look. So 1 and 9 are there, and also 1 and 9 are down here. And that square's got to be an 8, therefore. Which means 8 is in one of those squares, which means 8 is in the corner. No 3 in the corner there. Can we still get 3s in the corner? We can get a... No, we can't. No 3s in the corner today, I'm afraid. C'est la vie. This is a 3, this is a 2. We can just complete this column. Now, what about... If we can do those 2 squares, we can obviously do these 2 squares. This is a 7. This square's got to be... Oh, why couldn't I see that immediately? That's less than 5, and it can't be 4, 1, or 2. So this one's going to be high, and it can't be 6, 8, or 9. So that's 7. All right. So that's 7, and that's 3. And therefore we get a 1 up here. We're going to be able to get these 2 digits, which I think are going to be 8 and 9, and they are, and they're 8 and 9 in that order, which does the 9 and the 1. So we can do the 1 and the 9 in the other order. The funny thing when you get symmetry is you can just take the most weird paths through puzzles. 6 in this box has got to go here. 4, 5, and 7. So this is 7, this is 5, this is 4. These squares are now known, aren't they? They're 3, 8, and 9. The 3 has to be there. So 3, 9, 8, and 8 and 2 go in. 8's got to be here, I think. 9's got to be here. And as well, I mean, it was correct, I think. This is a fairly gentle puzzle, but it's still got an awful lot to admire about it, hasn't it? This is a 9-4 pair. And now we can presumably write 4 into there, 5 into here. We need 3 and 6 to complete the box, so 6 and 3 go in. This square's got to be a something. What is it? No, it's a 6. Have we done all the 6s in the puzzle? I think so. These are 1, 2 and 7. So the 7 goes at the top. The 1 goes here, the 2 goes here. This is a 1. We need to put a 2 in this box, and that's going to be a 4. It looks like it might be right. Let's have a look. It is right, 39 minutes. I don't think that time is correct. I think that's including me having a phone call. And yeah, that's an absolutely beautiful puzzle, isn't it? 356 times this has been solved in the last 8 days. So it's quite a new puzzle. And it really is getting some heavy attention, which it absolutely deserves. I think, Florian is obviously catching up with Ard in popularity, making absolutely wonderful puzzles that everyone wants to have a go at, and why not? That was another gorgeous puzzle, like the minesweeper one before it. Let me know in the comments if you managed to have a go at this and how you got on. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind, and stay around if you're looking for the Roll of Honour for last month's Patreon reward. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.